Hey guys, my name is Scoby and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at this big bad boy, and my camera's out of focus. This is the RGB Mousemat. I'm not going to be putting that in front of my face again, it's just going to take me completely out of focus, so I probably won't be able to use that from this angle. I picked this up on AliExpress for pretty cheap considering what it is. It's also extremely big, so it's very difficult to show it on camera right now, so I'm going to be using a lot of b-roll footage for this. But it's a really cool mouse mat. It's actually surprisingly decent quality. You can see it's very reflective in the footage on screen and probably here in the video as well. You can see as I tilt it in the light, it gets like very reflective-y, although it feels pretty decent to hold. So if you look at it from certain angles, you can see the small edges and ripples keeping the actual LED strip in place. But when you look at it from a distance, it actually doesn't look to be too blotchy. The RGB all the way around it seems to be pretty consistent. There's not like individual dimples of LEDs like you see on a lot of cheap extensions. That's probably due to the material kind of brushing it and kind of smoothing it along, not being super smooth. But overall, I feel like that's fine. I don't think it's a big issue to what it does, and I think it handles pretty well overall. How it actually works is through a small micro USB cable, and then there's a single button on the top. So of course, with the price, we're not going to be expecting any software with this. It will work through any input method. So if you connect this up to any sort of USB or even a USB outlet, as long as it can continue to give a consistent flow of power. This is where I had one issue trying to connect it up to my external power bank, and because it didn't actually get any input reading from this, because it's not a smart LED thing, it shut down after a while. My power bank didn't think any sort of data was being put through, or it wasn't getting a signal to continually output USB power, so after a while it would shut down. So sometimes in the footage I have to kind of reset the light. But overall, the lighting quality on this is surprisingly good considering what we're getting here. I really only bought this just for the lols, to be honest. I wanted to check it out. I've seen it scrolling by a couple times and I was curious. I already have a pretty big mouse mat behind me. I used the Razer Elias Extended. During a LAN party, I actually won like a 15 euro voucher, so I decided to get an extended mouse mat. So normally I wouldn't spend this much on a mouse mat. I wouldn't recommend spending 35 euros what this actually costs. So we do actually have a lot of lighting modes in this. By default, you can actually just scroll through these by pressing the single button on top next to our actual micro USB inputs. So we have a lot of solid colors on here: red, blue, green, yellow. Yellow seems to be a weird tinty color, and we have a couple of other things here as well. But it's also nice, we have a lot of lighting mode. We've got a breathing mode that switches between the lights. We've got a pulsing mode, and then we've got a couple of weird modes that seem to be glitched in and out here. So that's kind of sucks. That's one bad thing about this. Another bad thing is it doesn't actually have any memory inside it. What else are we expecting for the price here? So basically every time you turn this on, it's going to be reset to the default color, and if you want to get back to where you were before, you have to press through the buttons, which isn't a big deal considering you might be doing this once, maybe twice a day if you shut down or you put it in sleep mode and it kind of shuts the power down on this. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. I don't think it's a huge kind of downside to this. So overall, it's a surprising little package considering the price. The LEDs aren't that bad. The mouse mat overall seems pretty good. So what are we losing here? Well, actually not a lot. You can get a lot of cheap extended mouse mats in China anyway, and which is what I'd recommend for most people. It's not really worth paying the big bucks for a branded one unless you really like the feel of a mouse. For example, the Razer Goliath behind me has a really particular dimpled feel, whereas a lot of these standard ones have just a simple mesh or like this weird kind of glossy material. It doesn't feel bad by any means, and it's going to be more than enough for any mouse or sensor to read off of it comfortably. If you have a particular need, then maybe go for a specific brand. But if you're looking for something that's just a mouse mat, then go from China. And if you want an LED one, I actually give this a recommendation, to be honest. But anyway guys, that's been a look at the mouse mat. I'll be leaving links to this in the description down below. I don't know if I'll be able to find anything on Amazon, but it'll be AliExpress links if I can find something else. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you'd buy something. Not really my cup of tea. I already have a big one. If I didn't, maybe I'd be more interested. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the other videos on the channel. I'm going to be leaving a link down below to my PayPal if you found these videos helpful and you want to support me. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, as always, keep it saucy. Peace.